The four of them, Julian, Ace, Lael and Edath, were already driving for 40 minutes in the van. There was still half an hour missing towards the clock, where they would take a special ship to another small island that was documented in the Bureau's files. Those weren't sold to the media, so no one except for them would know exactly where it was. Their plan was to start over in there, the four of them, so no one would be left behind and concede to the social pressure to confess everything.
Do you really think we'll have to need these?
Ace asked, playing with the guns they had.
Hopefully not, but we never know. I still have my handmade knife really well hidden, in case one of you tries something funny.
Ace chuckled and locked the SIG Sour P.228 safety.
I wonder how much time it'll take until we get there.
Are you nervous?
She unconsciously grabbed his hand and held it. He looked at her with a bit of a surprise. Her hand was colder than his, and also sweaty.
I am. I'm guessing it's normal. We're fugitives now.
And the worst ones because we killed our beloved parents. Or I mean, our mother and your father.
Ace leaned his head on the car's seat. He had a smug expression, but Lael could see his legs shaking too.
I still can't believe you actually did it. I mean, it was for the best considering they weren't good people at all, and they could rat on us if we thought about escape, but...
It was no big deal. They were in the way when we tried to recover the files. Besides, it was for the best.
You could have avoided being tailed like this, though.
Go big or go home.
He's joking, but he puked. There was no way we'd leave the country with them alive. I mean, we just had to do it with the short amount of time we had, so we couldn't make it all professional or ask someone else to do it for us.
I don't judge what you did, nor do I blame you. Well, maybe what...
In a second, Julian drifted the van, and the Wrangler Jeep hit right into them on the side, making their van flip and turn upside down after a few tumbles. Lael was almost unconscious, but still grasped his last energy to set him free from the seatbelt. His head was hurt, and he felt his legs getting sore. He noticed some wounds on his arms, especially on the right one, which had severe wounds. He cursed himself and looked at the others. Ace was passed out, and Edath was waking up.
Lael...
She coughed some blood. Lael hurried and helped her out of the van first. As soon as he was getting out with Edath, two undercover cops were waiting for them.
Shit,
He muttered as the cops began to point their guns towards them. He understood that they knew who they were, so there was no point in pretending in that moment.
there's more people in there.
Lael saw some smoke coming out of their van's engine. He couldn't tell if Julian was dead or not, nor if Ace was conscious already. Edath was fainted in his arms. He looked around. Lael only saw the Jeep, which seemed to be the reason for their accident, since the Wrangler was on their side of the road. It was raining heavily at that moment.
I have no idea where I am. It seems to be one of those back roads where there's only trees on all sides.
One of the cops moved towards the van, leaving the other watching them. Lael pretended to be sicker than he was, trembling with the cold rain. The man's intercom gave a sign, and he picked up. He walked away from them for a few meters, trying to find a sign for their location.
It seems they didn't plan to find us here, although they were chasing us.
Shh, I take care of this one. You take care of the other one in the van.
Edath looked at Lael and winked. Apparently, she was faking to be fainted. He nodded, getting a hold of his gun and walking towards the van. The rain was perfect to muffle the sound and cover their presence. In brief seconds, Lael reached the van, and before thinking about shooting, he strangled the man who was about to see Ace's body. When he was sure that the man was dead, he tossed his corpse to the side.
You chose your girlfriend before your own brother.
She's not...
Lael jumped, not expecting Ace to be pretending to be passed out as well.
By the way, these guys are so stupid. Are they really cops?
Anyway,
Lael peeked outside. Edath had finished the job and was hurrying back to the van, this time directly towards the driver's seat.
Oh shit! Julian!
Your right arm's kind of damaged, isn't it? Can you still fire a gun with that hand?
Then I'll just use my left hand.
Edath hurried inside with Julian on her back. She threw him on the van's back entrance since she couldn't bear with the 6'3" man all alone. Lael noticed Julian had some wounds but was still conscious.
Those bastards.
Lael hurried towards him and held him on his lap, worried.
Hey pal, you're not gonna die, right?
You think this is enough to kill me? I might have broken my left leg, though. I don't think I can keep with you. I have a plan instead.
We're not leaving you behind!
A smacked the back of Lael's head, who looked at him confused.
What was that for?
Asshole. How do you think we'll run away if we don't have a car? Plus, how do you think we can run away with a handicapped man? No offense, man.
No offense taken. He's right, Lael. I won't die from this. My plan is to serve as bait. They won't kill me either, because they need to know where you are. I'll pretend you threatened me to do this and that my life was at stake, so I couldn't do anything but cooperate. I'll mislead them, so they think you're going somewhere else.
Lael was going to argue, but Edath put a hand on his shoulder. He looked at her. She didn't say anything, yet he could understand what she was trying to say. He nodded.
Fine. But don't get yourself killed. Or brainwashed. Please.
Just leave me near a forest with a bit of shelter. This van is done for. And breathing all this smoke isn't going to do me good. Be quick. They'll be here in no time.
The three of them carried Julian and put him next to a big tree, covering him up with a bit of shelter and the blanket they had in there. They gave him a gun too, in case something endangered him, hoping that it wouldn't ruin the plan for him.
Could you tell us the fastest way to go there?
You still have to walk 10 kilometers down this road. You will see then a bridge named Faith. It's a bridge where you can see from one side a huge abyss with nothing but rocks, and from the other, an abyss of sea. After crossing the bridge, turn left towards a path that will lead you to the beach. There'll be a dock. You will find your ride there. Here, take this. If they don't believe you because you're not with me, this should work.
Lael was handed Julian's old sailing card. He looked at him and patted his shoulder.
Hang in there. Thank you, brother.
I'm actually you.
Stop ruining moments with spoiled bratty shit, you attention-seeker diva.
I guess I was staying in the character for too long. Sorry. I'll act normal now.
Lael and Julian shook their heads as they began to laugh.
Take care. Go. Now. I'm sorry for not going with you after all.
It's not goodbye. It's see you later.
Lael hugged him briefly and stood up. Ace and Edath followed him, and the three of them left Julian walking down the road inside the forest under heavy rain.